Caleb, good to have you.
Thank you, brother.
So, I don't even know whether to ask you how are you. How are you doing?
Look, when I do this, I feel pain in my back. My side hurts, and anytime I receive calls from people, the whole episode plays back
in your mind. So you don't feel well?
Not at all.
Have you gone to the hospital?
Yes, I've HR directed me, so the company got me to hospital and they've examined me.
So you've gone to do a medical checkup?
Yeah.
But which part of your body do you have pain?
So I feel pains in my back and then my side.
Is it your rib? Or?
Yes, my rib, just down here.
Mm-hmm.
People look close and they say they see some marks here.
Bruises?
Because I was slapped from the back.
So you have bruises on your neck?
Yes, I do.
So let's fast forward.
Yeah.
What happened yesterday? What happened? Where were you and what happened?
Great. So before what happened yesterday, earlier I was sent to the National Security to have an interview. This was like 2 years ago. And on my way out, I saw some cars parked there, white Chevy cars. And it had weeds growing all over them. I got to understand they were the Maslog vehicles that were caught up in some controversy. So I shared that and I was like, these are...
You shared them?
Yeah, I shared the picture on social media.
When was this?
This was, the first time was pre-COVID, long before COVID.
Okay.
So when the Fix the Country Now conversation started, I went to look for it and I shared it again. I was like, this is what is getting people angry, and they're saying that you should fix the country because there are a lot of young people out there who are unemployed and all that. Well, there was a backlash, there was a pushback. I was told that I was wrong and that those cars had since been allocated to various people and they were no longer there. What I did, I deleted the post, I apologized, I put up a new post and said that, okay, I'm happy to hear that the cars have been disbursed. If you are anyone who has benefited from these, please let me know. Indeed, someone came to comment that, oh, he benefited. I went into his inbox, we had a chat. Much later, I gathered that the cars could still be there. But
the cars you photographed in 2019?
For which I was told that I had done a bad job saying they are there when they're no longer there.
So you went, you had the cars were still there?
The cars were still there. But then I wasn't very keen on pushing because I had that some time back. So on Tuesday, I was in town running some errands and I was close by. And so I was like, okay, let me just pass through and see if those cars are still there.
The white Chevys, if they are
Chevys.
still there.
My focus was
on the white Chevys. Okay.
So I got in there. I saw a security man.
Where is this?
So behind the Babaya Sports Stadium and then the conference center, in between that space is the Blue Gate, where they call Blue Gate. That's the national security. The first time I went there, I didn't know the national security ministry was there. It was just the big one close to the conference center that I knew of. And because I had been there before, I could figure, in my mind...
You knew the area?
In my mind, I knew the area. But when I got there, it was a very open space. And I said hello to the security. He was like, what are you looking for? I said, oh, I have an appointment. Much later, when the guy was roped in, he said, I told him I was looking for an abana. I think that was to get him out of trouble. And I didn't push back. Okay, so I got in there because I knew where the cars were. I went straight. And
so just describe the place.
Yeah.
You enter through the stadium side.
Yeah.
There are two big buildings in front of you.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of
huge
cars.
space here.
But those are normal cars of other people.
Normal cars.
So these cars you're talking about, where are they?
So if you're getting closer to they call it ESS or EES, which is close to the conference center, the cars are just close to the entry to that huge building. Looks like very palatial. So that's where the cars were. So I took some photos and I was on my way.
These are the white cars?
These are the white cars.
The Chevy cars you took pictures of previously?
The Chevy cars I took pictures of.
To confirm whether the claim that they had been disbursed was true or not. So you needed evidence of the car still being there.
Precisely. I just asked.
How long did you spend taking those photos?
It's like not too long because it was I needed to be swift and get out. And let me tell you what I saw. When I saw the cars, I realized that it was a fleet, but this time it was not as many as I first saw it. They were fewer.
So suggesting that maybe some of the cars had been moved.
But still, you had weeds on it.
Some of them.
Just the same style as I saw it. Just that the earlier one, it was greener. So, okay. And I saw that the seats in the car had rubber on it. And
so it means that they are new and used cars.
And used cars. And you could tell the color of the car. A cracky.
That's a crack. So you walked to where the cars were parked.
Yes.
And then you took photos.
Yeah, so you could be taking while you're walking.
Okay.
So it's not like you stand there for everybody to see you are filming.
So you just took that.
You just took those. And then I was on my way out. Now here
the same entrance you came from the stadium side?
The same entrance.
So you didn't go, did you walk to the ministry or the building?
Not at all.
Did you cross the car park?
I had no business.
So you went towards the shed side?
I went towards the shed side, and that's where you see the black cars, some V8s and all. So I saw some V8s there, and they were all dusty, and I was like, "Ee."
So on your way out after taking the white Chevy pictures?
On my way out after taking the white Chevy, and I saw black V8s covered in dirt, and the tires were looking, V8 and foot-through, V8 and foot-through. So I did a quick video, and I was just on my way out, because I was just really close to the gates out of the place. And then
so sorry, on your way out of the place, you did a quick video.
Yes.
Of the other cars,
the V8s,
not the white cars.
Not the white cars. But my real
focus. Were you walking whilst you were doing the video, or you were just standing?
Yeah, I was moving.
You were moving.
I was moving.
But were you? I just want to know how you were holding the camera, just to swear that was it a conspicuous thing? Were you saying, "Here are the cars"?
No.
So you were holding the phone.
So you can hold it close to your chest.
Show me how you did it.
So okay. So you can hold the phone close to your chest while you're going.
So you were narrating.
Precisely.
So you didn't film your face. You were filming the cars on your way out.
Precisely.
These are the cars parked
under the shed.
Under the shed.
Right by the wall.
Okay.
So I was just about making my way out of the gate. And then there was this man in a car in there who saw me and said, "Hey, where are you going?" And then I said, I became jittery. I said, I came to see someone, but the person's not there. He said, "Who was that?" Basically, he had seen me. So he was like, "Why were you taking the videos?" And then I said, "I'm sorry." I tried to explain to him why I came. He wouldn't listen. He raised the alarm and said, "Arrest him." So he effected that call. And by
this
time,
around what time is this? Is it 2:33?
So this should be, in fact, I lost
sense of time.
True.
But this was on your way after you had done your...
Precisely.
Do you know how long you spent in there before you were coming out?
Oh, I didn't do more than 20 minutes. It was really, because I've done something.
So it was a short time?
It was a really short time.
So he raises an alarm, and then what happens?
And then they come at me, and immediately I panicked. So I decided to share some of the photos I had taken, particularly of the white cars, which was my focus, with
Zoe,
my very good friend.
So whilst they were coming for you did that?
Yes.
Okay.
Just so that, and in my thinking, they were going to forcibly take the phone and delete it and caution me and say, "Walk out of here," or something like that. So I sent the videos to Zoe. But it turned out they were more, they were bent on showing me, they were bent on dealing with me, because then they took me to a small post when you enter on the left. There's a mango tree there. There are a number of police officers there. So by this time, a plainclothes gentleman had come and was like, "Yeah, these are the people who are causing blah 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 blah."
No, don't say blah blah blah.
Yeah, they said they are causing problem for us already. There is tension in the system, and they are trying to kind of so.
Just take your time. So the gentleman who raised the alarm had seen you recording some video near the cars that you were on the way out.
Yeah.
He raises an alarm, and what did they accuse you of when they initially raised the alarm?
First they were like, "How did I get in there? Forced entry or something like that." So then they take me to the police post where we met DSP Azugu. By this time, the gentleman in plain clothes had gone ahead of us to tell everybody that I had come there, I had breached the protocols, and I was trying to cause them some chaos and trouble. So all the police officers there became very agitated and aggressive towards me.
So the way he reported what you were doing got them angry?
Yes, infuriated. And so they took me to a smaller office. I showed them my ID card to tell them that, "Look, I'm from Citi. I agree. I shouldn't have taken them. Let's delete it and please let me go." But they wouldn't. They took me to see Azugo. I showed him my ID card. He said, "Who are you from?" I said, "Citi." "Who do you know?" I said, "Richard Mensah." Then he called Richard. I didn't even give Richard's number. He called OJ. And so by the time he spoke to OJ, in my mind, then it was going to be sorted. By this time, they had taken my phone and they were looking through my chats. and they found out that I had sent photos to Zoe. That is when the gentleman started chatting Zoe as though I was the one talking to him. So around this time, they said, take a statement. They pushed me, I sat on a chair, they slapped me from the back, and they were...
Which of the people are you talking about?
The police officers. These are men in uniform. Some were bearded, they had guns.
Did you see any names?
Masks. Unfortunately, no, but I heard names like Osei and Owusu. Those are the names that I heard. So then...
And this is still in the small
This is still
office,
in small office, very close
Azugu's
to
office, near the mango
office.
tree.
Yes. So I saw a very elderly policeman. He looks like the traditional policeman you see, because these were younger, with beard, more brazen. I was trying to appeal to them that I've worked with police before. I've heard, just please sort of go out and let me know. By this time they had beaten him like, oh, Mabo make a cry. But they was just still slapping me from the back. You'd be talking to another one, then someone would just come and slap you from the back, and you feel dizzy at once. And it's like, it was so fast.
In that same space?
In that same space.
At this point, had they handcuffed you?
At this point, they had handcuffed me, and every now and again, one will come and press it harder so that I feel the head. I was so thirsty. One guy came in, he was like, oh, Caleb. Then he got me water. Even drinking the water was difficult.
Because of the way the handcuff was. Did you speak to Azugu?
Yeah, after he spoke to OJ, he didn't deal with me much. He was very angry because the guy had really, really worked him up, and he was so sure that I was just there to cause mayhem for them.
Do you know what the gentleman told them? Did he tell them you were reporting, or you were broadcasting, or just filming? He
told them that I had come there to film the national security installation and some other things, which, in all sincerity, I didn't do.
It was the cars that you had come to take.
So you know, if you are taking the pictures secretly, you are not watching. It's later when you finish that you pay attention
and see
to
which ones you took.
So if mistakenly I'm taking any of the national security buildings, that was not even my job. And I tried to explain to them, but still they wouldn't listen. Then along the line, they called somebody captain or something. He came in some green jacket, pink shirt. It looked very civil and nice. So I tried to talk to him that, boss, please help me. By this time, they had taken me out. We were under a mango tree. They had taken me out. We were under a mango tree. When I saw it, I tried to, immediately he said I should kneel down. And then he kicked me. So I'm told.
This person is not in military uniform.
He's not in police uniform. He looks very dapper.
He's wearing green.
Yes.
Do you know his name?
Pink shirt. What could his name be? Yes, Ajiman.
They called him Ajiman?
They called him Ajiman.
And so when he came, you were trying to appeal to him?
I was trying to appeal to him and say, they have beaten me enough, like, I beg you. Like, just let me go. At least they have deleted the thing. Because he asked me to kneel down, and I'm told he's there, he kicked me. You can imagine where his feet landed.
He kicked you in the groin?
Yes.
At this point, did you fall? You already knelt?
I was already kneeling, so I was dusty and all. So by the time he gave them instruction, when we're going back to where Azugu was, the boy said, Captain Kasasi Amburu, and no.
That's what they told you?
That's what he told me.
So then he leaves you there. What did he tell you after he slapped you?
He was very angry. So he was like, you're trying to cause, I can't quote him verbatim because too much was running through my mind. But by this time, they were upbeat on coming to the office to fetch Zoe.
You knew that they were going to do that?
Yeah, they were saying that. And so I think in their chats with Zoe, they had asked her where she was, and she said Studio Annex. And they asked me, where is Studio Annex? And I said, it's in our office. So,
which means that Zoe was chatting thinking she was talking to you?
Exactly.
Because she didn't know that you had been
precisely
arrested. Amazing. Welcome back to The Point of View. Tonight, we're telling you the inside story, or giving the insights of what happened here on Tuesday. It actually started at the National Security Head Office, and as Caleb has described, there's a National Security Ministry building and then a National Security building next to it. He had gone there to take photos of some white Chevys. On his way out, he also did a short video of some other cars. An operative sees him and raises an alarm. He's arrested and brutalized by first the men who were with Azugu, and later on by the man who you call what?
Colonel Ajiman.
He was in green.
He was in green.
And he asked you to kneel down.
He asked me to kneel
And this was
down.
outside?
Yes.
Under the mango tree?
Under the mango tree.
And then he slapped you?
Kicked me in the loins.
When he left, what happened?
So by this time, he had emboldened them to manhandle me. So we went back into the office that has Azuku there. So the boys was like, and there will be this what? And another guy comes, and so someone, just like their hands are so big and thick. One hit is like medros. So by this time, they wanted to come and pick Zoe. And so they said like, where is Studio Next? And I tell them it's in the office, and I was in cuffs all the time.
So they are chatting with Zoe, who thinks she's chatting with you.
Yes.
And they are coming here to pick her up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they come with like 3 pickups, and I was in one. There were 2 guys by me, one here, one here. This guy sounds a bit reasonable. I didn't know best. I was trying to explain to him. I said, "No, I'm there for more person." And that's how. That we're trying to have a rapport, thinking that things will ease up. And the guy here, oh my God. Then so we got here.
You were flanked by the 2 of them.
The 2 of them.
When you tried to explain what you were doing, are you saying he didn't understand or he wouldn't listen? What were they saying to you in the car when you were coming?
Yes. So then the gentleman, he's fairer. He's fair. He was a bit more calmer and all, but he was just trying to say that the media is causing problem for the system and all that kind of thing. And the guy in plain clothes who was chatting Zoe was in the front seat, and then he kept engaging me here and there. So while we were coming, they came with one of the cars ahead with the strobe lights.
So when the 2 of you went together, while she was doing this, were you there?
Yes, I was there. I was asked to take off my shoes. And there was this round, thick guy who was like, yeah, I know this guy. He's been here before. He was very angry. He was speaking gun, like, when they are trying to frighten you, that kind of thing. Beat him and that kind of thing. And there was the military man. By this time, there were some 2 lawyers who were sitting there and were like, "Are you Caleb? Good, are you the general?" And I was like, "Don't talk to him." That kind of thing. It was a very, very intimidating atmosphere. So they took off my belt. They asked me to go into a room. It's called detention room. It's just at the reception, but it's on the left. It's a very long building. Ventilation is poor. There's so much heat there. I met I saw Chinese, like 8 Chinese nationals and 6 guys. I later understood Western Togoland people who are alleged to be part of Western Togoland.
So these are like suspects in a room?
Yes, suspects in the room. And there was a tall man there called Captain. And his job was to work me out. So he made me squat, like press up 30. I did some other exercises till I was so tired I almost fainted. I fell on the ground. Fell.
So this is when Zoe had left?
When Zoe had left.
So this is around 5:30?
5:30.
Yeah.
And so at this time, your phone was still in your possession?
At this time, my phone was still not in my possession. I fell down, turned to my left. I looked up and here's a Chinese national. I'm like, wow.
What's going on here?
I'm in my own country with...
Yeah. But they were also sort of in detention?
They were, yeah,
okay.
for a different thing.
So what happened after that?
I was there for roughly about 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Then they asked me to come. We were going to the top. I presume that's exactly...
Yeah, but I didn't get to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we used a lift while we were going. Another hit.
From who?
From this guy. At this time, there's a guy at the reception. And there's another one he's working with. He comes in earlier to speak ever with me. It's like, he's doing his work. So by this time...
His work is to be hitting you.
And it looks like the more there's a superior around, the heftier the punch. It's like people are trying to impress...
Where did they hit you?
They hit me in the back. Like I said, when I do this, it's pain. It's pain.
So whilst you're on your way up...
The beating was just ongoing. It was just...
They were just molesting you?
Oh, I was like, what?
Still in handcuffs?
Still in handcuffs, all through. I'm like, no, by this time I was not in handcuffs because I had to press up and do all those
so
things.
So the handcuff had been removed?
The handcuff, I took like 3 keys for them to be able to open.
They were not sure which one
it was because of how tight they closed it or something. I don't really know. So by this time, we went to an office.
There's a backstory to that. Maybe I'll tell you. So apparently, maybe when some men comes, you tell that story. Okay. Because apparently, the person who had the keys to your handcuffs had left.
Oh.
So he had to then call for them to... It was a long, complicated story. So when you went to the top, this is around 6 o'clock now. Yeah.
We went there, we saw a short man in political suit, very tough, rotund. And my first salutation is the punch. Because then he has also been briefed that we're here to cause mayhem. I mean, the briefing was such that the moment you see
they don't ask you a question.
No,
they just start beating you.
And I tried to explain that, boss, I don't have any interest in security installation. It's just that, it just kept going on. And this one said I was going to take statement. And by the time he said he would dictate something and write, then he would dictate something, you also write and start writing your statement. By that time, the gentleman who was chatting Zoe in plain clothes came and said, man can't show on my story. Almost say because of the video he did on Sunday, I went to the Black Star Square to do a video that went square. Almost say, so he was accusing me of, he was like, the journalists have gone to publish a story that we have arrested him because of the Sunday video. I'm like, boss, why did me phone the whole day? Who can I talk to? And we're just trying to strike. At this time, tempers has simmered, and then we're writing. That's when a very fine gentleman came in. I think his name is Dasimeni. That guy was really nice. Seeing him was such relief. He came and asked the people what happened. It was like, this is so needless. Could have just handled this. And he came, and then I think he was talking to someone on the phone. It was like, I should explain to the person what I came there to do. And then I explained all that. And then he left. And then the short guy who punched me several times made me write the statement and all of that. And then Mr. Asmani came back again. And over some short period, we came down. My phone was still in there. So he called and said, Mufa, Caleb phone number. It was like 20 minutes. We called later, Mr. Mufa, Caleb phone number. So we stood there for like some time before my phone came. And then we left. He gave me his contact and assured me that if I needed to know anything, I should let him know.
So it was his presence that stopped all those things. Yeah. So until he came but between the time, did Azugo hit you himself?
No, Azugo didn't. He looked very, very angry.
But he didn't touch you?
No, he didn't touch me, but his men, God. One was holding something that looked like langa langa. You know langa langa? It was blunt, and I was scared. I didn't know whether you use the side or the pointed.
Did he use it to hit you?
Luckily they didn't, but the sight of it alone, I was just praying. I was like, oh, bonfire, we are Christian. Oh.
At what time did you leave the place?
I left around 7:30, 7:45.
With Richard?
Yeah, OJ was with me at this time, so I came with OJ.
Richard Mensah, okay.
One of the conversations that came up, they searched me. This is in Azugo's office. They searched me. I put my money there. They said, one can see real sika. I confirmed. Is that your car key? I say, yes. How old are you? I'm quiet. I said, how old are you? I said, I'm 28. Oh, car. Only how many years me are police and so many bicycle. And one of them was like, Oyedini. And another one said, so Oyegbeni. And I knew that if I confirmed that, my beating would have doubled. And for some reason, I just said, oh, me free Cape Coast. And another one said, oh, Cape Coast for you, not Maze. You know?
This is still the point of view. It may sound funny, but it's very serious. This is the narration. I'm sure other people have their versions, but this is actually what happened to our journalists who went to take photos of vehicles parked. And yes, this is what happened. We'll try and tie up the loose ends when we come back because it's a very serious situation. Caleb had to go to the hospital today. Did they give any medicine? Yes,
he gave me some prescriptions. He said that I need to do some massaging of some balm there. He said the injury wasn't, because they didn't use any weapon physically. They weren't any.
They just used their hands to hit you.
They just used their hands. So he gave me some painkillers and some drugs too. The doctor was like, oh, I know you, what happened? Like,
you explained to him?